Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Hellenica, where we are dealing with issues. Lots and lots of issues. Flanking? I think that... Ooh. Yes. Nice. Okay. You're gonna go help with that. Ow. Fine. Fine. Ow. Okay. I could... I'm doing this instead. Okay. That's going down. You're gonna backstab me. Oh, that stays up. Nice. I don't think I can save that one. Yeah. Shield bash your corpse. Yeah. Oh, jeez, it stays up. Good. Can I get to you? No, I can't. So, you are now stunned, Harpy. You are not cutting us off from the balloon today. Okay. Get your attack down. Nice. Also nice. Ho 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 ho! You didn't have enough attack to do it. Oh, that's lovely. Goodbye. That was a little bit of a difficult match. Oh! That's the last of them? Maybe we should land on solid ground, just in case. No way! It's awesome up here! Our foes could find us on land just as easily. Fine. Optimus, please don't let this mechanical bird punch from the sky. That's quite a weapon you've made for yourself, young mechanists. Up and away. Oh, my steamboat? Yeah, it can fire bolts at over 100 meters per second, and the compressor almost never explodes anymore. But that's nothing compared to your airship. I can hardly believe you built this. I mean, I knew you were amazing inventor, but flying through the sky like this feels impossible. You've certainly undone yourself this time. Were you building this whole time while I was in Hyperborea? Bits and pieces. I got the idea after our run-in with those pirates near Thassos. You see, if barrels which are heavier than water can be made to float on it, then why can't something similar be made to float on air? Exactly! That was the spark that got my gears turning! Granted, there were a few complications along the way. Technologies that hadn't been invented yet. The ideas most of the mechanists said were impossible. So standard fare for you. Pretty much. At any rate, it's good to see you alive. I thought for sure that without my help you'd freeze to death in the Hyperborean mountains. Oh, did you find the true fire there? A man does not simply walk out his door and arrive at his destiny. Each day is a step in his journey, and all the steps must be taken. I'll take that as a no. Does he always talk like that? He's been talking in riddles ever since he studied that crazy Heraclitus guy's writings. Ask him about why you can't step in the same river twice sometime. Wow, how long have you two known each other? A long time, but I hadn't seen Sky since I dragged him out of the Persian vaults. 13 years ago now? Charming. But you'll have to trade stories another time. The Spartan rebellion is a much greater threat than you realized. We need a course of action. It's worse than you know! Still, it's nice to see people actually trying to save Greece. Well, with the riots in Athens, I was starting to worry that reason had left our shores. There are riots in Athens? I hate to tell you, but there is more than one corner of Greece on fire. And I doubt that the instigators are working alone. I think Artaxerxes' plan may already be in action. What are you implying? He hasn't invaded, has he? Not exactly. He probably figured brute force wouldn't work. When the Persians first invaded Greece 80 years ago, the whole peninsula came together to fight them off. Spartan and Arcadian soldiers fighting side by side, while Athenian and Corinthian ships continued the battle in the nearby sea. Artaxerxes knows what the Greeks are like when we fight together. So instead of all-out invasion, he's trying a subtler approach. Circe believes the rebels are being supplied by Artaxerxes. Circe, you're not dealing with her again, Sky, after last time? A desperate fire leaps at damp wood if no other kindling can be found. Well, Persia's definitely involved. On their own, rebels couldn't defeat the Autokineticans I built for Aglesias. I also caught sight of the Persian general Sisyphus sailing in Greek waters. No way! Wouldn't the Athenian navy have noticed Persian ships sailing in the Aegean? But he wasn't on a Persian ship. For all the might of the Athenian navy, there's no small amount of ships that make it their business to avoid Athenian scrutiny. Pirates. How exciting! So the Pretender King's mad dog stowed away on a pirate vessel. That still seems dangerous. Why would he risk it? My telescope can't see inside Sisyphus' mind. I just saw that he rendezvoused with an Athenian luxury yacht. There must have been some well-to-do Athenian he really wanted to meet with. There are traitors in Athens? The city values slick tongues over warriors' bravery. Is it any wonder their hearts are weak? At least they haven't descended into a civil war. Which reminds me, yes, there are riots there, Diona. How does this whole conspiracy relate to the Spartan rebels? The ship that carried Sisyphus to meet that meeting is the same one that heads the pirate fleet that's been supplying the rebels. You're sure? There's not another like it in the pirate fleet. It looks like an Athenian steam-warm ship. Stolen and modified to serve its new purpose. Okay, keep talking. Do you know anything else about the pirates' deliveries to the rebels? I'm worried that the worst is yet to come. They just got a different sort of shipment. It looks like they're massing for an assault on the Spartan capital. They have some kind of secret weapon? And they plan to use it against Sparta? I'm afraid so. Diona, we have to go warn King Aglesias. Well, one of our number is unable to return to Sparta. Ugh. Yes, and for the past 12 years I have wished I could undo the mistake I made that day. I was a fool trying to keep it secret from you, but now I see you've known all along. And yet you accepted my help. Sky, what are you talking about? Yes, Skylex, what is this terrible sin you tried to hide from me? You mean you don't know? I don't think we need to dig too deeply into anyone's past. We're all allies fighting a common cause now, right? Yes, the brass head's right. Your sins are in the past, and we need to focus on the task at hand. At least until I figure out what both of you actually did. Okay. Is there anything we... Ooh, Pythagorean. All these Theomechani. This must be what Face's workshop looks like. See that, Sky? Someone who appreciates my work. Probably because she hasn't tripped over your scattered wrenches half a dozen times. Bah! Anyway, if you think this is impressive, wait until you see the Pythagorean trinket I found. By the gods, I thought you had grown out of that by now. Pythagorean tech actually exists? Let me see. Is it true, then? Can the Pythagorean order really create living machines? Nefel, they're just a group of heretics that spread self-aggrandizing rumors. I'm inclined to agree with the Octos. The pieces we found all those years ago were just the work of some crazy field mechanist, not a whole secret society. That living machine stuff is just legends. Just like the legendary Arctoid? There's a difference. We can actually see her. And if you paid attention to my lectures on Biomechani, you'd be able to see the similarities in the... By Apollo, I'll pay attention. Let me see. I'd love to show you. However, King Iglesias' automechanical arm is still attached to him. Oh, don't worry. I've seen it. I mean, I didn't really study it, but I stared at it a lot. In a not weird way, I mean. It was actually pretty weird. Anyways, why aren't we talking Mechani yet? Alright, first thing to notice is the unique alloy mix. Oxagoras and Nefel talk about Pythagorean Theomechani for a while. Okay, more about the Pythagorean trinket? Sure. Where did you find the Pythagorean trinket anyway? We had tracked a Pythagorean a while back. Not on purpose, we just heard some bounty hunters pursuing a heretic. Sky got all excited about the strange burn marks we found when we stumbled across his trail. He thought the guy might know something about the true fire. Well, we couldn't spend all our time helping blind poets escape their arranged marriages. Hey, he was really grateful. Said he might even write a poem about us when he's done with that one about Odysseus. Anyway, following his trail led us to the remains of what was an especially savage dancing ground of Ares. Perhaps the heretic had angered a pair of Spartans. Not unless Spartans can spit fire in neat geometric lines. I'm not even sure that Spartans can draw neat geometric lines. Yes, they can. I'll have you know. Anyways, I want to hear about how he found this strange automechanical trinket. Right. Well, there were burns and blood everywhere, also torn scraps of metal littering the ground, stuff that wouldn't make sense unless someone had hauled a steam engine out there. What happened to the Pythagorean? He chose suicide over capture and leaped off the cliff. Or at least that's what I used to think. Thinking otherwise would be folly. He must have been wounded, and that cliff was too steep for any mortal to survive leaping from. You said the same thing when you saw it. That was before I built this airship. Ah, I see. Do you think whatever became of him, we were able to find a few scraps of whatever technology he was using before he disappeared? Most of it looked damaged to the point of uselessness, but I took that trinket to study anyway. There's no more to talk about that. Ooh, we can talk about something up here. Telescope. Is that the telescope you used to spy on the pirates? It looks incredible. You can have a look through it if you want. Thanks. How do I... Is it this knob? Not unless you want to stare into the ocean. Oh, sorry. Wait, there's something here. A ship of some kind. That's hardly surprising. Not a normal ship, you grumpy old bear. It's covered in strange theomechani. Like the Pythagorean piece? No, it's definitely different. Organic, somehow. Almost like the metal fastenings screw together. Here, have a look. Strange. I've never seen a vessel like that before. Do you think it could be a Persian vessel? Perhaps our Xerxes has finally decided to show his colors and attack? With only one vessel. That seems unlikely. Don't underestimate the forces of the pretender king. The size of a fire does not determine its heat. Tell me, is it headed for Sparta? Following it would be the only way to know for sure. Can you make out more on the vessel? Nothing useful. It's not flying any flags, but it's got such a weird shape. I'm not sure where they would even put a flag. Now here's a question. Are you Skylex's daughter, or did he kill your mother? That's strange. It doesn't have any plumes of smoke. I wonder where the steam's going. Perhaps it's not steam-powered, but I don't see any rowers, and it definitely doesn't have sails. Oh, if only I could examine it more closely. Maybe we should look into this, but is that what's most important? New path unlocked! Which is probably related to Atlantis. Kind of interested to see that, but why would you build an airship? Was solid ground just too safe and reliable for you? Because it's awesome! Ah, I needed to give the bards an inventor to sing about besides Daedalus. Though I guess you could say the threat of being murdered by Luddites was a motivating factor too. I see you haven't lost your talent for making friends. Your super pressurized boiler launching bolts into the neighbor's pottery again. That only happened once. Mechanists can't be held responsible for every loose bolt, errant steam blast, or, fiery explosion. Nefel, you're not allowed anywhere near this airship's engine. Aww. At any rate, after the Luddites burned down my workshop in Athens, I wasn't sure where to go. And since my best friend was still busy gallivanting around the frozen waste of Hyperborea, it's nothing like we imagined. The land is rich with culture and life. Its people sing its praises another time. I'm in the middle of my story. Anyway, I wasn't sure where to go until King Aglesias personally invited me to take my talents to Sparta, where they would be welcome. Yes, I remember seeing your workshop there. Back before, why did you leave? For all of King Aglesias' good intentions. He couldn't change the culture of his city-state overnight. The backlash against his modernizing policies plunged Sparta into civil war. After that happened, I knew I wouldn't be safe there. I probably wouldn't be safe anywhere in Greece, at least on land. Ahaha! So you built an airship. I'd been working towards it for a while, but the life-threatening circumstances motivated me to finish it. You always worked best under pressure. Okay, Skylax. You must have tons of great stories from your adventures together. Tell me one. Well, there was the run-in with those Athenian aristocrats attempting a hostile takeover of the Theban railroad. It's a rather long story. They'll be up here a while, though. Oh, don't remind me. We thought we were just rescuing some kidnapped kid, not wading into some power struggle for control of the railroad. Not like that would have stopped us. Of course not. Such obstacles lead to one's destiny as surely as the path they interrupt. At any rate, it turns out this Athenian baron was sure the fledgling railroad was going to be a source of great wealth in the future, and he was right. And the baron is not a title that existed at this time. He couldn't bear the thought of anyone outside of Athens possessing it, so he decided to convince thieves to sell it. But fiery old Peloponnese wasn't interested in selling his town's future to some foreigner, and he was rallying thieves against the sale. But the Athenian wasn't taking no for an answer, and kidnapping Peloponnese' kid was his latest persuasion technique. And you rescued him. The story's far from over, though. The crafty Athenian immediately took advantage of the beating we gave his would-be kidnappers. He convinced Athens that Thebes was in a state of lawlessness, with innocent travelers being waylaid. The Athenians simply gave him permission to send his mercenary force in to restore order. I've fought private armies. The private arms the Athenian nobles command. They're little more than thugs with polished shields. Even so, the odds weren't in our favor. Most of the Thebans had never even been in a fight before. Fortunately, Anaxagoras prepared a theomechanical arsenal for them. Wow, a steam-powered army? Admittedly, most of it was for show. There was no need for bloodbath. We just needed to scare the thugs away. And you succeeded with only the army of bumpkins and a few steam-powered trinkets. Many drops together make an ocean. We managed to rout the Athenian mercenaries, but Peloponnese didn't make it. Oh no! He died a warrior's death. May Zeus grant us all such an end. Speak for yourself. That's where Epaminondas comes in. He was Peloponnese' best friend and warned Peloponnese it was crazy to try and stand up to the Athenian Turks. He never imagined it would lead to his friend's death, though. I think that's when he resolved to start the shadows. Penumbra. Ooh. To make sure there was always someone looking out for the people of Thebes. Wait, so you're saying Epaminondas runs the Theban shadows? Yep. I would have never guessed that of a railroad mogul. How secrety, Nefel? Really? How secretive? The shadows are a myth. Invisible spies to... Not this again. What do you mean again? I've never said this before. You've said it several times. Or perhaps spies are the reason Thebes remains free in spite of its fallout. I assure you they're quite real and very busy from what I've seen recently. Perhaps we should consult them. If the shadows are half as good as the rumors say, they probably know which threat we need to be concerned with. They might even be in a position to do something about Artaxerxes' plans. You're right. I would be surprised if they didn't already have some sort of plan to deal with Artaxerxes. Okay. Okay, so those are all of our paths. I'm trying to get to an end I haven't had before. Okay. So this one... Sparta. This one is not oh, okay. I see which one. There's this one. There's this one, which must be going somewhere important. It's too peculiar not to mean something. We should follow it. So the Theban shadows are real, and Epaminondas is their spy master. If anyone could help us stop Artaxerxes, it's probably him. We've been to that one, though, so what do you mean you've been to that one? Never mind. We are going to this one. You've decided. We're actually going to Sparta. Where else would you have us go? It's not that. What's wrong, Brass? You're going home, and what's more, our warning could help save it. I do want to save Sparta, but what? Spit it out. Would you say I've done a good job as your bodyguard? You're a bit slow, but that brass head of yours can take a beating. I'm glad, because I failed in this duty before, and was forced into exile. What did you mean, failed? What happened? I was accused of murdering Lysander, the man I had sworn to protect, who is probably now the leader of the rebel army. He was a well-respected general and close friend and advisor to the king. Did you do it? No, I would never! I don't know who else could have. Only I had the key to his chamber. When my king saw the headless body of his friend, he flew into a rage. He would hear nothing from me and sentence me to death. Well, you're not dead, so you must have escaped. Brass, you can't go back there. The Spartans will arrest you on the spot. It's all right. Every Spartan wants the honor of dying for his home, though I had hoped for a warrior's death. Brass, I really don't think this is a good idea. You cannot drag a man down the paths of his destiny. He needs to walk the path himself. Not by myself, I can't, but with a mechanical wagon and a strong rope. And by Zeus, even a donkey would probably be enough to drag him somewhere he won't be tried for treason. Nephel, don't make this any harder. But we need to get to Sparta, and you need to respect his choice, even if he is stubborn and foolish. And fights. I like spears. Spears. Oh, it's a Theomechanite. Stand down, traveler, and your party is a traitor and murderer. Allow us to bring him to justice, or you will place yourself and all your companions in danger of Sparta's wrath. That traitor has risked his life many times over to protect mine, and now he risks it again to help me deliver a warning to your king. Whatever allegiance he has to you means nothing to Sparta. Men, arrest this traitor. I won't abandon one of my own team. Defeat all the Spartans, and that doesn't necessarily mean kill because of this game. Okay. We have things we can do. Do we want to change the fire orbs? I think we want to change the fire orbs. Ah, allies aren't damaged. Allies aren't damaged. Fireball. Okay. Let's try Ignite. Okay, the heal's too useful to get rid of. So, see you next time.